Hi and welcome back to Gallery Watch. We're here with Judy Kotai. So Judy, do you want to please tell us what it means to be part of the Mundaring Hills Open Galleries?
It's just a good opportunity to get together with other artists, and so that people can come up, and having got themselves all the way up to the hills, there's quite a lot for them to see. Last year I didn't actually take part. I was still part of the group, but other things happened in my life and I wasn't available. Being an artist is quite a lonely occupation in many ways. So we have our meetings and we swap ideas, and last year actually I took the opportunity to have a look at everybody else's studios, which was great fun. I have primarily concentrated in the past on glass and no longer do so, but there will be some small pieces of glass in it.
So why did you stop doing glasswork?
After 30 years of doing the same thing, you feel the need for change. The materials are a wee bit hazardous. I mean, quite apart from the fact that glass tends to cut you, there are some rather noxious chemicals that are involved, including lead. And as you get older, you start to feel a little bit more vulnerable, and so you're a little bit more careful about what you work with. But I think that the deciding factor, the most important thing, was that I've been very fortunate to have spent a lot of my working life with glass, and it will all be focused on horses. At the beginning of the year, it became fairly obvious that my very, very special old horse may not make it through to the end of the year. And in fact he didn't. He died 2 weeks ago, aged 38 and a half, which is pretty good age for a horse. He was a very special little character, and it just seemed like a good opportunity to go back and do a bit more work with horses, because that's, as a child, where it all started.
So back onto the horses, do you want to tell us a bit about this picture here? It's truly beautiful, and they're of your two horses, aren't they?
Yes, they're two. They sort of look as though they're cozying up in that photograph, but in actual fact, just after the photo was taken, they had a bit of an altercation. But the grey one is the horse that I mentioned, who recently died, aged 38 and a half. And he was a special character in my life. The other one I also rescued. She was pretty naughty, a bit unpredictable to ride, but just so beautiful. And I still have her. She's probably in her early 30s.
How did you create this painting here? Because I've seen you mixed all the different colours.
It's done in layers, and this time I was really quite disciplined. I thought I'd keep a record of it, and I actually photographed each layer. You start off with just the basic shapes and basic colours, and then apply glazes. It's a little bit hard to describe because you do it intuitively, you don't think about it. you're putting colour on colour, basically. And the trickiest bit is knowing when to stop. One of the nice things, I guess, about being an artist is you never really quite know where you're going to end up. You have an idea in your head. Sometimes the end result is quite close to what you had intended, and other times it's totally different.
Is this one totally different?
No, I've kept that one pretty well under control so far. We'll see. It probably represents a week's worth of work as it is now.
These sketches here, how did you create these ones?
These are done with a special pencil which is soluble in water. Sometimes I'll wet the page and draw on it. In this case, the drawing was done and then water added later, so that it dissolves the pencil and it produces a softer effect. You lose quite a bit of the definition and that sort of thing.
So you used different coloured pencils, or were they all the same and then you added the colours?
These are all blacks and browns and sepias. I'd prefer, you know, that there is a blue, but I prefer the browns and sepias. The main reason for doing these was to achieve a little bit of anatomical accuracy, I suppose, rather than producing finished works.
Talk a bit about these ones over here, because I see that middle one there you've decided to do in sections. Was it always like that, or did you?
It's always fun to sort of try something different. And when I did that, I thought maybe I'd do a horse and then get each little section and turn them around so that it no longer looked like a horse. I haven't taken it apart yet, and I'm really not quite sure what I'll do with it, but we will see. In all my painting, my past painting, I've been particularly interested in the effects, and a lot of artists are, in the effects of light and shadow and so on. And I don't know, it's just something that developed, and it is fairly common in my painting. I like to centre my work around my life. So, you know, what I create, apart from, I must say, when I was doing the glass work, there was a lot of commission work, and that was quite different, because you were taking briefs from clients, and that would take you off in directions that you probably would never ever explore left to your own devices. But with this work, I like to do work that's relevant to my life. got to a point where I thought, no, horses are... all little girls draw horses. This is totally uncool. I will not do any more horses. And I didn't for a long time. So now it's coming back, and I'm disciplining myself much more to try and get some accuracy in my drawing. My first love always was painting and drawing, and that's where I started. The glasswork happened quite accidentally when Cyclone Alby broke some stained glass windows that had come out of my family home that I was putting into a house that I built out of stone on a little farming property. And they were damaged, they were repaired very badly, and I went off to learn how to repair them myself, and didn't ever repair them. I just went on and made more and more new work. And, it's the way life is, isn't it? You really don't plan the big things that happen in your life, I don't think. They just happen, serendipity.
Thank you for being here with us at Gallery Watch. I'm Sasha Costanzo. I'll see you next week.